Alright guys, for today's video we're going to be making a cauliflower pizza. It's a low carb option. I'm starting a keto diet, so I thought it might be interesting to give it a go here. I've made keto pizza several times before. You know, I've more or less kind of figured out a decent way to do it, and it's real simple. The crust itself, it's a real simple recipe. We're gonna do 4 cups of shredded cauliflower, 2 cups of Parmesan cheese, and 2 eggs. So we got our cauliflower here. We'll cut it up, cut all the florets off. We'll put it in the food processor and pulse it up until we have 4 cups. I might need a third head. I got a third head in the refrigerator, but this one's kind of small. A lot of recipes call for, you know, 1 head of cauliflower, 2 heads, but you can see here, I mean, you can just see the difference in the size there. So better to measure it out. 4 cups. After it's been shredded, it's going to be 4 cups. And we got our shredded Parmesan cheese. I got a couple bags here. They're small bags. 2 cups of this. And then we got our 2 farm fresh eggs. So first things first, I'll cut this up, get it shredded in the food processor. You can use just like a cheese grater too. Works just fine. Maybe just a little bit more labor intensive. So we'll go ahead and get going on this. Alright, so we got our cauliflower all shredded up, grated, whatever you want to call it. And we got our stems here left, but we don't waste anything around here, so we'll give these to the chickens. And you want that, you want the cauliflower to be the consistency of like rice. And it's also another option for cauliflower. You can make kind of a cauliflower rice. So I think those 2 heads are going to be enough. But we'll see here. Next we got to cook all the moisture out of the cauliflower. Alright, so what we're doing is we're just taking a hot skillet. I got it on medium-low heat, and no oils or nothing. And this is when we're going to go ahead and measure out our 4 cups, and we're going to put it on the skillet. And what we're trying to do here is to cook off the moisture in the cauliflower. There's our 4 cups. We got plenty left over. And we're just going to kind of maneuver this stuff around. We're not trying to cook it. We're just trying to get the moisture out. So this is going to take probably about a good 10 minutes. You just kind of stir it around till you hear it really stop sizzling. And I'll bring you back when I'm done. Alright, so we're about 10 minutes later here, and it's looking pretty good. Still got some kind of steam rolling off of it, but it's not sizzling anymore much. No, I think we're pretty good right there. Doesn't have to be perfect. So we'll take it off the heat and set it over here to the side here. Take it off the heat, set it over here. And we're going to let that cool down for a while. So while that cools off, we'll go ahead and mix up our other ingredients, which is pretty simple. We're going to take our 2 eggs. All right, we're going to whisk those up. And then we need our 2 cups of Parmesan shredded cheese. Here. Yep. There we go. Can never have too much. That. Just kind of mix that up a little bit. And then we got to add in our cauliflower. See any big chunks in here, it's probably wise to take those out. It's not perfect, see, like that. It's kind of a big piece. I'm gonna toss that one. So this isn't all the way cooled down, but it should be fine. Alright, there's our cauliflower in there, and we're just going to give this a good mix. There we have it, our mixture. It's going to be real crumbly and, you know, just sticky looking. It's not going to look like dough. So if you're expecting that, you're going to be disappointed. So next thing we got to do is grab our cookie sheet here. And one last important thing is that you're going to need some parchment paper. Not wax paper, not aluminum foil, parchment paper. That's very important because it's the only thing you can use that it's not going to stick to. And that's going to make all the difference in the world. If you use anything else, it's just gonna end in epic failure, trust me. Alright, so now we're going to make sure we're good and mixed here. And we're just gonna dump it out on the middle here. We're going to try anyway. Big chunk of cauliflower. Spatula works better for this. There we go. Now we got to figure out how to shape this into a pizza. So, kind of pack it together first, like so. And then we got to work it out. Thickness is really dependent on you. This is going to be pretty thin. The important thing is to just get it as even as you can so it cooks evenly. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go around the edges here. And you want to kind of raise the edges a little bit. That way they don't cook too fast. Because by the time we put the toppings in here, it's going to be starting to really brown up on the edge. And if you just smash it out and leave it, you'll notice that it's kind of thinner on the edge. Because of the way you're squeezing it. So you want to kind of build the edge up. That way you don't get it burnt on the ends, on the edges. You just gotta kind of finesse it. Doesn't have to be a perfect circle, Lord knows it won't be. I don't know how well you can tell, but it's kind of raised a little bit on the edge. You don't want like a big crust or nothing, because then it won't cook it. But if you just smash it out like I just did and then leave it, it's gonna burn. All right. So now you want to preheat your oven to 400 degrees, and we're going to put it in there for about 15 minutes. So we have our oven at 400. And we're just going to take our pizza, set her in there. We'll check back on her about 10 minutes, probably be about 15 minutes in the oven. Alright, so we went ahead and cooked it. It ended up being 20 minutes. And this is what we got. Nice. You can tell it's solid. You got a little runny on the edge here. So maybe could have just mixed it a little better. But overall, I think that's really good. And so now we're going to put our toppings in before we put it in back in the oven. And what I'm going to do for my toppings is, it's going to be more of like a cheesy bread than an actual, regular pizza. Because I'm not going to put any sauce on mine, but that's completely up to you guys. You can put, find you a nice low carb, pay attention to the nutritional value, of course, of the pizza sauce that you put on there, but I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to put, we got some blended shredded cheese here. We got some pepperonis we can put on there, and I got some jalapenos I'm going to chop up, and we're going to put those on there too. So we got our jalapenos that I kind of minced up there, and I tried to leave as much of the seeds out as I could because I really don't want it to be that hot. And we put our cheese on top of we put the jalapenos on first, then we put the cheese on top of that, and then our pepperoni. So now we're just going to grab it and stick her in the oven for another 10 minutes or until that cheese is nice and brown, and then we'll be all done. Alright, so we're 10 minutes in and it's looking pretty good. I think we're good. Let's check it out here. Oh yeah, it's looking good. You got some nice color. Cheese is nicely melted. And now we're just gonna let it sit for a little while and kind of cool off, and then we'll cut her up and do a taste test. Alright, so we let her sit for a little bit. Now it's time to cut her up, give it a taste test. Best cutting, but yeah, we're a little undercooked, I think, in the middle. Still pretty hot. Tastes good. But you can see we're still a little undercooked, I think. We made it a little too thick in the middle, I think. But not bad. So that's going to be it for this one. Thanks for watching.